Well, Sonic, thank you for giving me all of those great games to retrospective, and I truly can't wait to see what comes next.
Yeah, sure. Next game, got it. About that.
It's okay, you don't have to explain to me. We all know that we're not gonna live to see the next game.
Sure, well, it's been fun.
It has, so, yeah, have fun with that next game, I guess. Jeez, that was way more awkward than I was expecting. Hello, what's this?
It's time to jump up in the air. Jump up, don't be scared. Jump up and your cares will soar away. And if the dark clouds start to swirl, don't fear a shed a tear, 'cause I'll be your one-up girl. So let's all jump up super high.
Can I make a confession right now? I've never owned a Mario game before, and there's a number of reasons why. I never really owned a Nintendo console, Mario just never really appealed to me, and I guess I just had this really weird sense of loyalty towards Sonic, which I still admittedly have. Look, here's the thing, a lot of the guys that I grew up with grew up loving football and supporting different teams and having a huge amount of loyalty towards that. I didn't have that because I just don't like football. Or I guess for the majority of my audience, soccer. So I guess that sense of loyalty kind of just went to stupid things. Like this silly little brand mascot here. But I just recently got my hands on a Nintendo Switch Lite, and so I took the opportunity to buy my very first Mario game. Now this doesn't mean that I have never effectively played Mario before. I've played little bits here and there of different Mario games I can't name around friends and family's houses. Mario Kart, I guess, being an obvious one. But I hadn't really properly experienced Mario until I had downloaded Mario Odyssey onto my Nintendo Switch. So this isn't really an objective review here, because you got tons of those out by now. This game came out in 2017. This is a Sonic fan's first ever proper experience with Mario. So I kind of already have some sense of familiarity with Mario and his supporting cast, and off the bat, the quick opening cutscene gave me everything I've kind of come to expect from Mario. It's quick and it tells you everything you need to know about the threat you're trying to stop, as well as the adventure that lies ahead. And this did reinforce why I haven't really been that interested in Mario, if I'm being completely honest. Don't get me wrong, this opening cutscene is incredibly effective. It doesn't take an arduous amount of time setting up an over-the-top story, like most Sonic games do. It just sets up the adventure and then off you go. But this is an unpopular opinion here, and this is to do with my first impressions. This did change as I played the game a little bit. Mario as a character and a brand mascot is completely fucking lame. Everything about this guy and his world is so goddamn twee. Like, what am I supposed to respond to this character with? What kind of reaction is he supposed to get out of me? Is he supposed to be cute? He's a dwarf plumber with a moustache that talks like Mickey Mouse. If Mickey Mouse was trying to do a stereotyped Italian accent. I swear, only in like the 1980s or whenever it is Mario came out, when there were no other video game brand mascots to speak, could this pass off for a mascot. And it is a testament to the quality of these games that this mascot has managed to persevere today. I mean, let's look at some other video game mascots. You've got Sonic the Hedgehog, you've got Spyro the Dragon, Crash Bandicoot, Ratchet and Clank. What's something that all of these guys have in common? Well, they wanted a certain cartoony cutesy factor to them, so they made them animals, which makes so much more sense. Animals are naturally more endearing to humans than humans are, so if you want to make this cute and endearing brand mascot, it makes more sense to choose an animal. It's like when you see a cat or a dog or something and you're like, oh, that's so cute, I love him, you know? That's the kind of reaction you generally have to animals. You don't walk up to your plumber and go, oh, you're so cute and lovable, I just love you, you know? It doesn't happen. And then it's like, you think of their enemies as well. Sonic the Hedgehog has Dr. Robotnik, who is a human being. Crash Bandicoot has Dr. Neocortex, who is also a human being. Then you come back to Mario, a human being fighting, I don't know, what is this, some kind of turtle dinosaur? Now let me just say, as I played the game, this very much changed. I became less distracted by how twee and weird of a character Mario is, and more just kind of enveloped in the adventure. I know a lot of people right now are thinking of clicking off of this video and just saying, he didn't get it. Right, I didn't get it. That was my very first impression. That's how a story arc works. So Super Mario Odyssey has Mario trying not to get cucked by Bowser once again, but he fights a losing battle, ends up face first on the ground, meeting with a new buddy called Cappy. And Cappy kind of makes up the unique skill set for this game. As far as I know, I don't know if Cappy's a thing in the other games.
I'm guessing not, as I don't really recall Mario's hat ever having eyes on it until now. But you can throw Cappy for long-range attacks, you can use him as a little spring. The actual moveset that you need to get through this game is very straightforward, however there's a lot of additional moves you can use to enhance your playtime that will admittedly take some time to master. I don't know if these are any simpler on motion controls, but I don't have that luxury because I only have the Switch Lite. And I know that Super Mario Odyssey very much encourages motion controls even if it doesn't force it. But perhaps one of the coolest things that Cappy can do is that there are certain enemies of Mario's that you can throw Cappy at, and this will allow Mario to effectively possess them, giving the player the opportunity to play as Mario's enemies as a means of getting from point A to point B, which means that there are effectively an abundance of different characters that you get to play as. However, all of which have very simple controls with very different functions, meaning that the game doesn't feel too confusing or cluttered. It handles this very gracefully. When you consider how many different playstyles you'll be using in this game, it is a surprise to think that I never once felt confused by what to do as a certain character. This also keeps the gameplay incredibly fresh from level to level, which keeps the game from feeling flat. As far as the overall structure of the game goes, it is a collectathon. You travel around the world via the Odyssey, and the Odyssey is powered by moons, so you collect moons throughout the levels. This could be through hidden areas, missions, and minigames, and once you get a certain amount, you can move on. You are chasing after Bowser, and every different location you go to has been in some way ravaged by Bowser. So there's usually a main objective from level to level, which will be the most effective way of collecting moons. However, since there are so many different moons scattered around the levels, and so many different ways of retrieving them, it's safe to say that I think every player is going to have a different experience with this game. And being able to utilize the different other characters through Cappy means that every one of these levels feels fresh. Which is a great thing, as collectathons can have a tendency to become a bit grindy, which is what I worried that Super Mario Odyssey would become. There are also boss fights in every level, which usually involves one of Bowser's rabbit hench people taking a hat, coming to fight you in their own little way, rinse, repeat. These do get repeated throughout the game, so chances are you'll fight the same boss fight more than once. The boss fights are all pretty straightforward. Once you know what to do, it's perfectly doable. Located in every world is also a store, where you can buy different outfits for Mario, power-ups to help you along the game such as health, as well as one moon, which can get you a little bit of a head start. I opted to combine Mario's new Donk City business suit with his captain's hat, and this was the outfit I wore for the lion's share of the game. One really cool thing about Mario Odyssey is, like Sonic Generations and Sonic Forces, Mario Odyssey combines 3D gameplay with classic 2D gameplay. Now, being as I'm not exactly a Mario expert, I don't know just how authentic the 2D gameplay in this is, but its incorporation is really well done in this game. So you might get to a point where you need to get atop a high structure, or get inside a building, or navigate your way around an area with no platforms. But there will be a pipe in the wall which you can climb into, and then suddenly it's a 2D Mario game projected onto the wall of that structure. That is just so awesome and out of the box. That is so much better than how classic Sonic has been incorporated into recent modern Sonic games. A personal highlight of the game for me would be the new Donk City level, which takes place at the halfway point of the game after the first boss fight with Bowser. This was probably the least Mario-y looking Mario level I've ever seen, but it begins in this sort of apocalyptic setting with tanks everywhere fighting against this giant robot centipede, and there of course you have a boss fight with that, and then once that's done, New Donk City's perfectly clear, it's all fine, but Mayor Pauline wants to get a band together for a festival, and then the objective is finding different musicians to help out. I thought this was a really fun out-of-the-box way to go, but the best part was the reward for doing this. A festival is thrown in your honor, and you make your way to this festival through side-scrolling sequences, including Donkey Kong, all set to a vocal track. I never knew Mario had vocal tracks. Jesus Christ, Mario Odyssey, are you trying to take Sonic's will to live or something? The vocal track is very much a feel-good big band sort of a deal, with Mayor Pauline providing the vocals, and it's a very, very enjoyable track. It fits Mario well. I'm impressed by how many Nintendo puns they managed to get into it.
I'm flipping the switch.
And you just feel good while playing this level. It feels like a good reward. So after a quick Google search, I found out that the vocalist that plays Mayor Pauline in this game and sings the song is none other than Kate Higgins. And Kate Higgins played Tails in Sonic Colors. Damn that two-tailed little two-timer. I honestly get the sense that Mayor Pauline really wants to get with Mario. You can definitely tell. There's something there, alright. There's there's gonna be trouble if she ever meets Princess Peach. The thing is, I didn't really get to know Princess Peach in this game. She's just really a damsel in distress here. Mayor Pauline is definitely the more interesting character, and she definitely does more for Mario in this game. And research tells me that Mayor Pauline is actually the person Mario was trying to rescue in the original Donkey Kong game. That's not a bad little reference. The game's ending also has a good deal of build-up as well. I love the sort of ominous atmosphere of the very Chinese-inspired Bowser Kingdom. This place just felt very formidable. And then you have this boss fight where you battle against all of Bowser's hench bunnies in this big robot golem kind of deal, before you rocket off to the moon to fight Bowser in the center of the moon, to stop him from marrying Princess Peach. You defeat Bowser in a boss battle that's very similar to before, and the game is won. Or so you think. They then fall a little further, and at this point I was like, oh god, please no, don't be one of those finales that really outstays its welcome. Oh god, I just know Bowser's gonna get back up and I'm gonna have to fight him again. Oh. But then that doesn't happen. Instead, a no-brainer kind of happens. You throw Cappy onto Bowser, and then control Bowser as you escape from the center of the moon, which is now collapsing, while you get another boppin' track from Mayor Pauline, which sounds like a 2003 rock song. Like, musically speaking, I'm so surprised. I remembered Mario music being shit, but this is great. And getting to control Bowser for the grand finale was just a genius move. This game is just full of ingenuity and very satisfying payoff. There was a good sense of achievement whenever I did get a Power Moon, and whenever I fucked up and died, I knew it was me that fucked up, not the game fucking me up. The difficulty of this one never feels cheap. But there's also a great deal of player interaction as well. Pretty much everything in the level is interactive in some form, which I think is something Sonic could draw a little inspiration from, because we've had games like Forces where you basically only interact with what the game wants you to interact with, and there's a lot of scripted events. With Mario, I always felt in control of Mario. It always felt like I was playing the game, and there was lots to explore within these levels. I would definitely like to see Sonic draw some inspiration from that. But then again, it's not like Mario hasn't drawn some inspiration from Sonic in this one. You've got vocal tracks, and Mario does now effectively do the spin dash. But not only that, but let me get this straight. The game begins with Mario fighting a losing battle against Bowser, being thrust face first back to Earth, where he makes friends with a cutesy creature that can fly, that will aid him on a journey across the globe in a wintry tundra, a desert, a city, you name it, culminating in the final showdown in the fiery pits of the core of the moon, and that's where the game ends. Right, now let me just go back and check something real quick. Sonic Unleashed begins with Sonic fighting a losing battle against Dr. Eggman, where he's thrust face first back to Earth, befriends a cutesy dog that accompanies him on a globe-trotting adventure through a wintry tundra, a city, a desert, and more, culminating in a final battle inside the core of the Earth, where the game ends. I'm sure there's gotta be some influence there. Mario Odyssey is fast-moving and comprehensive. You're getting an incredibly rich experience from Mario Odyssey. It's a very, very respectable game. And if the other games in the series are even half as good as this one, then I want to see them. I get why people really love Mario. This is a good game. At the same time though, Mario Odyssey didn't completely put Sonic to shame. While Mario Odyssey is a top quality game, Sonic is still definitely my favorite video game mascot. He's just more endearing as a character, I like his world better, I like his aesthetic better. I'd say the music is almost neck and neck, but I'm gonna hand it to Sonic because I just find it catchier. Although the Mario vocal tracks are really, really good. What I'd definitely like to see is a Sonic game reach this level. A Sonic game that is this big. A Sonic game with this much rich interaction. And I think another thing Mario really gets right that Sonic could learn from is that the cutscenes are very quick. Mario knows what it's trying to do. Whereas with Sonic they try a little harder to be a bit more narrative driven. I think the Mario method definitely suits Sonic a bit better. So, my first Mario game, color me incredibly impressed. But ultimately, this doesn't change the fact that I am a Sonic fan first and foremost. So I will say that Mario Odyssey made my trip to the other side well worth it. And that heavy price tag that Switch games come with, Jesus Christ.
Well, now I hand it over to you, fellow home dogs. What do you guys think? And if you did enjoy this video, might I ask you a favor? Please hit subscribe and that notification bell as your way of telling YouTube keep it coming.
Likes are also highly appreciated. Now, I'm always trying to make my content better and more consistent, but this does come at a financial cost, and ad revenue isn't always going to cover putting a roof over my head and covering the subscription fees for the software I use to make these videos. So if you really enjoy this content and you feel like lending me a hand by any chance, I would be so grateful if you would consider joining my Patreon, which will also give you access to the Channel Pup official Discord server. I also have a written blog called Dr. Blogtopus over on channelpup.net. That is where I put my more critical and analytical stuff. And in the description below are links to different social media platforms where you're more than welcome to come and interact with me. So that's it for today, fellow home dogs. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on another video.
Together we can show the world what we can do. You are next to me and I'm next to you. Swiftly on through until the battle's won. No one's gonna give nothing to us. Into each other we put our trust. Standing united.